Kcaa.
Look, ain't no time to be down and out. Tune in to the thing to be proud about. When you sacrifice and reach your goal, you can look back, clown, and laugh it out. You know the station that's so amazing. Need inspiration and motivation. When you're in your mind with nowhere to go, well then welcome to the Matt Rock Show.
What's up, everybody? Tuning into the Matt Rock Show locally here in the Inland Empire and all across the world. If you're here local, you're listening on 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, or now 102.3 FM. And if you're checking us out on Kcaa Radio on Ustream, what's up? Also watching across the world on themattrockshow.com. I'm your host, Matt Rock. This is actually an episode of this season that I've been so excited for and really thinking about day in and day out, because this is going to be a very passionate episode. We're really going to give it our all, and when I say we, I mean my guests and myself. And what we're going to be talking about today, and I'll introduce my fantastic guest in just a moment. Today we're going to be going over fitness, motivation, how to transform your body, and also faith and prayer. And also, we're going to have a powerful half-hour-long solid rock talk on one of my favorite books of all time. So, without further ado, a very close friend of mine, I call her Sister Bear. She's very motivational, incredible. I want you guys to give it up for Vanessa Borrell.
Borrell.
Oh, Borrell. I can't say that right. Go ahead and give us some intro music. Let's see if that works real quick. Little church clap.
Little church clap.
Oh, there we go. There's the intro.
Hey.
There we go. There's the entrance. What's up, Vanessa? How you feeling?
Hey, Mateo. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my honor. Thank you so much for being on the show. So, like I said earlier, today we're going to be talking about fitness, motivation, body transformation, faith, prayer, and also one of our favorite books,
Wild at Heart.
Wild at Heart. So, what we just heard was Church Clap by, was it KB?
Church clap is Lecrae. Well, they all focus on each other. They all
Okay.
work together.
There we go. So when you're talking about they, I believe you're talking about maybe 116.
Yes.
And this is a movement. Now, I know that you're a born-again Christian. I know your faith very well. I have the same faith. And it's been incredible to watch you grow and to inspire other people to step into that faith as well, following Jesus. And this movement and this group of artists known as 116, can you actually explain what 116 is briefly, and also how you got involved with following this movement, being a part of it, and also incorporating that into your life, not just into your faith journey, but also into just getting motivated and excited every day with that music?
Definitely. So 116 Click is a hip-hop collective. They've been active since 2005, I believe, and it's comprised of different Christian artists such as KB, Lecrae, Tadashi, Gavi, to name a few. And they are named the 116 Click because they are named after that verse in Romans 1:16 that starts off saying, "I am not ashamed of the gospel." So what the 116 Click aims to do is to bring the gospel to people through amazing, powerful music that just hits, people that are young at heart. And I got introduced to Lecrae, first of all, by Tim Johnson, who we saw guest appearing in cameos last week here.
And he'll be a special guest on the show March 20th. Check
Dope.
it out.
I'm sure you'll hear more 116 Click music that episode, but I just really fell in love with the music, and I started using their music as hard-hitting gym music, and I just fell in love with the message, and I just fell in love with the movement, fell in love with the message of everything, and so I've incorporated that as like my go-to jams, right? So all of my gym music is comprised of 116 Click music, and I've made it a lifestyle to listen to that kind of music.
Definitely. So it's not just motivation, especially in the gym, listening to it, getting excited. It's just not noise, but it's also igniting within your spirit and your soul,
Yes.
like you're on fire.
Oh, totally.
Whoa.
Oh.
David must be watching the show. This is crazy. Actually, our engineer, I believe, has a clip of 116 by Trip Lee. So if we could hear Andy Minio's spot, let's go ahead and play that real quick. Let's check it out.
To brag on my Lord, Romans 1:16. We talk about him daily cause he run this thing. Can I do it? Yeah. Woo. All I need is 116 to brag on my Lord, brag on my King. Matter of fact, give me a couple more and I do the same thing, do the same thing, do the same thing. Even on my best day, I couldn't go by. Grace of the Lord that was grateful. For the sin and I committed, should have paid that price. But I didn't.
So music like that is incredible. It's not just noise, like I said, but it's also the message that's being portrayed, and it's so awesome that we can listen to rap music today, especially, and it gets you hyped up, and there's no cursing. Any kid could listen to that, get excited. I know that we've also gone to a couple 116 concerts, or at least some of the members of 116. I know that we saw Andy Mineo. Went with Tim to see Lecrae, and we saw
Tripley,
KB. We saw KB, and Social Club.
We've seen Social Club,
and we're going to see Social Club on March 10th, I believe.
Yes,
that's going to be a good time. So, keeping on the realm of faith on this subject, how did you come to know your faith? What was that like for you, and how did you come into that?
Well, I've always been raised around church, and my parents were just always very involved. Growing up, I remember when I was in high school, they joined this prayer group, and they just absolutely fell in love, and I saw the transformation that they went through. But after I left home for college, I moved to San Diego. I lived in San Diego for 5 years while I was at San Diego State University, and I just kind of fell away from my faith. And I mean, it was just a time where I wasn't going to church. I wasn't really involved in the Word. I mean, I don't remember cracking open a Bible, more than maybe 3 times while I was away at college. And after college, when I moved back home, I realized I wanted to change, and I saw the fire that was ignited in their hearts, and I wanted that same transformation in my heart. So it was a desire that was just so deep-rooted, and I remember just being at church one day, and this was around, I would say March of 2015, right before I met all of you guys. And I was just praying, and I said, Lord, whatever you want to do in my life, do it. I'm ready to take this plunge. I'm ready to take this leap. Let's go. And it was just a beautiful transformation. And what I love the most about this is it's an ongoing journey. It never stops. It's never ending. It always is. And so that's how I fell in love with Jesus in a way that I had never known before. So there's a big difference between knowing of the Lord and actually serving Him and devoting your life over to Him. That's the difference, is when you open up your heart and you give it to Him in the palm of His glorious hand, then you realize that all of the pursuit of happiness that people are doing is kind of worthless, because all that I want to do is serve to glorify Him. So I'm pursuing Jesus. I'm not pursuing happiness. And that's the biggest, beautiful change that has happened in my life so far.
And it's so evident. It radiates off of who you are and who you are each and every single day. So earlier you said when you had met us, I think it was 2015.
March of 2015.
There we go. And how did we meet? So I think I noticed you, and you putting your energy out there on social media. You're sharing your fitness journey. You're motivated. You have goals. You see this vision for yourself. You see yourself cutting down body fat, putting on muscle, feeling more confident, having a more powerful and positive self-esteem and vision of yourself. And I saw this energy, and it's more than just that drive, but it's also your faith and your belief in Jesus Christ. Like, it literally, when you know somebody with that faith, like, you can't help but notice it. They can keep their mouth closed, and you can just know that spirit within them. And I saw that in you. It was so cool. And you were somebody that I wanted to connect with. And not only myself being an Herbalife distributor, and Tim Johnson, as you said, we're all business partners. And we not only wanted to bring you into the business because we knew it'd be an incredible vehicle and family, community, and opportunity for you, but especially because of the products, but because of who you are. So I think I reached out. I edified what you were doing in life. So amazing. And just from there, you're doing your thing. We reach out to you. And if you can actually, I might be getting ahead of myself a little bit, but because at that point you had already been on your journey in life. You know what I mean? But prior to being introduced to Herbalife, because you have phenomenal results with Herbalife, like inspiring, awesome results, ladies. Make sure you continue watching this episode. She's going to share results, but actually let's go prior to us meeting, okay? What has your transformation, your body transformation, your self-esteem, your confidence, and the vision of your self-transformation been like throughout your life? I remember earlier we were talking in the car on the way here. You were actually clinically obese, if
That's
I
right.
may. That's right. So can you actually share about that journey prior to us meeting?
Sure. So before Herbalife, when I was in college, I just lived the college lifestyle. And that means fast food and staying up late. And you're not treating your body right. And I remember once I went to the University Health Center and I wanted to see what my health was like. And I talked to my physician and he ran some blood work and some tests and he just came back with the hardest hitting news I've ever heard in my life. And he said, "You are diagnosed as clinically obese." And I had really high cholesterol levels. My blood sugar levels were high. And you have to understand, obesity runs in my family, high blood pressure runs in my family, high blood sugar runs in my family, diabetes runs in my family. So there's a lot of things that are coming together against me, gene-wise. And so I remember I decided at that point I need to make a change. I don't want to die young. At that point I was maybe all of 20 years old. And young. Yes. And so I got in this journey when I moved back home at the end of the summer of 2013. And I remember I was hitting the gym, 6, 7 times a week, going for hours at a time.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. I'd be there from maybe like 9 p.m. till midnight. I mean, hitting it hard, hard, hard. And I got some results, I dropped about maybe 10 pounds in the span of graduation to prior to meeting you guys. But I just really plateaued, and I just didn't feel like I was getting the results that it wasn't evening out. You know what I mean? So I was putting in so much work in the gym that I just wasn't getting the results that I wanted. I was eating horribly still. I didn't know anything about nutrition. So I decided I need to make a bigger change in my life. And that's when I met you guys.
So when we reached out, and we're seeing you so fired up about life and so evident that you're looking for more for yourself.
Right.
We invite you, I think it was an all-out, oh, it wasn't August. It was March Madness, I think, something like that. But anyway, we had a fun name for a healthy active lifestyle challenge that we had going on. We invited you into that, and you lit up the community. Your personality, your fire, your flame, everything about you was just so incredible, and people can't help but be inspired and moved by you in such a positive way. And everybody was, especially us. We got so excited that we actually reached out to you, and then in the challenge, you get started as well on your Herbalife products. And earlier you said you plateaued. My favorite way to describe that in other senses, if you haven't experienced that, is like go to work for a few weeks, maybe even months or years, and take home a paycheck of $0 the entire time. Like, that sucks. When you're working hard for something that doesn't come, I know exactly what that's like. I experienced that a little bit as a very skinny, tall athlete prior, working out 6 days a week myself. But back to you. We invite you into this challenge, and you just kill it. You're awesome. You're lighting up the community. You get started on your Herbalife program. So Herbalife being the #1 nutrition company in the world, we are both Herbalife distributors. And if at any given moment in time, whether you're listening on the radio, podcast, or you're watching live, or a later time and date on the mattrockshow.com or kcaaradio.com, wherever you're at, if you want to actually reach out to Vanessa and connect with her further on her journey, your journey, if you actually need guidance and help, she can help you do that. And that's the coolest thing, is when you see somebody getting results, she's about to share hers, and knowing that they can help you do the exact same thing anywhere in the world, pretty much. We're in 95 countries now.
Over 95 countries.
It's phenomenal. And I just want you guys to know that you actually can reach out to her. So after this live episode, starting tomorrow, which is Tuesday, you can actually go to themattrockshow.com, look for Season 1 episodes, look for Season 1 Episode 3 with Vanessa Borroel. I can't roll my R's. Can you say it for me?
We'll teach you. Vanessa Borroel.
Vanessa Borroel. Okay, so that's how the white boys say it. say it. And you can actually email her. So back to the point. You got started on your program. What have your results been since getting started with Herbalife Nutrition?
This gets me so fired up. So since starting my Herbalife Nutrition plan, I have dropped 44 pounds of fat.
What?
Yes. And then I gained back 14.7 pounds of lean muscle.
Oh, that's some good weight to put on.
Yeah.
Can you flex again for everybody that didn't see that?
What's
oh,
up?
Snap.
And my favorite thing to say is I went from pushing past a size 16, 18 in pants to a solid size 5.
That's incredible.
Yes.
So earlier you had said that you were clinically obese. That's what
right.
the doctor had told you. And you can only imagine, really, on top of how you shared about it, how you could feel with that kind of news in your life. Look, I'm 20 years young. I'm a young woman with so much power and drive in me. Like, I deserve, I need, I desire, I crave something so much better than this.
Yes.
And then I'm sure your first thoughts were, well, I know I have to eat healthier. I don't know how to do that, but let me go hit the gym so hard. And then you lose a few pounds. And I know a lot of people out there have lost a few pounds, but they might gain it back or they might plateau, right? But they need something that they can sustain as a lifestyle. Who wants to work out 6 or 7 days a week the rest of their life to keep results? I don't. I'm an athlete. I love working out, but I'm cool working out 3 times a week max. I'm okay with that. I run 3 businesses and host the Matt Rock Show and hang out with lovely friends like you and enjoy my life. Like, I don't want to be at the gym all week long. So I'm grateful as well for Herbalife Nutrition. I've put on 34 pounds of rock solid muscle. Right.
Flex on him. Flex on him.
You ain't ready.
Hey.
Okay, so, covered up the NBC right there. So, welcome to the Gun Show. Hope you had your tickets. By the way, if you're listening on the radio, make sure you come check out the video on the MattRockShow.com. We're here having a good time. Want to make sure that you can actually watch us and feed off our energy. But I've also cut down 16% body fat at the exact same time, and that's so cool how you can transform your body. You don't have to dirty bulk. You know, for the really, let's say, skinny ladies out there or skinny guys, you don't have to dirty bulk eating all this fast food, wasting your life savings away. That's what I used to do prior to Herbalife. And what you can do is you can actually put on healthy lean muscle. You can actually cut back body fat at the same time by consuming a healthy, balanced diet. Lean proteins, complex carbs, all this fun stuff that I don't even know that much about, to be honest. And that's actually what I love most about Herbalife, is that it's so simple. My coach introduced me, hey, try this. And I was like, whoa, that shake that you just had me try was so incredible. What's your favorite shake flavor, by the way?
Ooh, right now it's pralines and cream. Tastes just like butter pecan ice cream, and that's my favorite. I'm in love.
Back for a limited time.
Ooh, love it. Stock up.
Pumpkin spice.
Oh, nice.
You pumpkin right. What's up, Jimmy Powers? And but yeah. So anyway, further than just being included into this Herbalife community, becoming a distributor yourself, you've been able to help some people get incredible results, and we're growing a team as well. We're also providing an opportunity for people to have a home-based business, to work from the beach, work from the home if you have kids, or work with your kids on your lap, and to help people. That's so phenomenal. To make the money that you want to make while bettering your life. This is a phenomenal opportunity. I'm grateful that we get to do this together. So I can't shut up about it, but we only have an hour, so I probably should move on. So now, obviously, if people can't see it or hear it, your confidence is wow.
Oh, yeah.
Your self-esteem. But if you can even further detail how you feel because of the decision you made, because of the solution, let's call it Herbalife Nutrition, right? A healthy, active lifestyle, 80% nutrition, 20% fitness, 100% mindset, right? Mindset is everything.
Yes.
How do you feel? And what's different from now to back when you were working out 6-7 days a week?
Here's the thing. So, I mean, I grew up with my mom always telling me, you're beautiful. You know, you're beautiful and you are so loved. So it's not like I ever felt horrible about myself. But there were a couple key times when I remember in college, I just looked at myself in the mirror and I just thought, I'm going to die fat. That is my destiny, you know, and it was the most sad, depressing thought that I've ever had in my entire life. And getting these results, I mean, I grew to fall in love with the process. So it's not about like an end destination. I fell in love with the journey. And in falling in love with the journey, you fall in love with yourself. You fall in love with the way that you look, you know. It says it in Psalm 139, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And I am able to see that not just because of my physical transformation, everyone, but really because of the mind, body, and soul gains that I've had, you know. And so I can't put it into words. You know, it's just indescribable to be able to slip into something that you feel so empowered in. To be able to walk down the street with your head held high instead of looking down at your shoes is something that's amazing. And I mean, to be able to talk to people with confidence, you know, to be able to sit next to Matthew Rock and know that you still look real good is awesome.
There we go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, for, because the intention of the Matt Rock Show, right, and we're doing it, and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
especially doing this, is we're motivating people, we're empowering them, we're uplifting, encouraging, supporting, inspiring them worldwide
Yes.
to make 2017 the absolute best year of their life. Now, I don't know about you, but I mean, we're both in great shape. We're both confident. We're both so excited and joyful with our transformation and where we're at. And by the way, after tonight's live episode, starting tomorrow, Tuesday, you can actually see on the MattRockShow.com under Season 1 episodes, or actually in the special guest list, you can actually see Vanessa's transformation. So we're going to have the side-by-side. It's incredible. I'm so excited every time I see that. It's just incredible. It's amazing. And I've seen it so many times, and it's just every single time it's wow. That's powerful. So
Thank you.
if you haven't seen it, you got to check it out. And on top of that, you can also see my transformation photo. So if you go to the tab on the Matt Rock Show that says Rock With Me Challenge 2017, rock with us this year. We're doing our best to provide uplifting, motivational, empowering content so that you literally can make this year the best year of your life. And like I said, back to the point, I don't know about you, but we want to make this year even better than last year.
Oh, yeah.
We want to get even better results. I feel great. I want to feel better.
Yes.
I look great. I want to look great.
Heck yeah, he does.
Right? So I don't want to plateau. I don't want to be average. I don't want to be right here. I want to keep going.
Yes.
You know, I want to put on another 15, 20 pounds of solid muscle. So what are your goals? I mean, whether you're a young lady, a woman, or a man, or even a boy, and like whoever you are, wherever you're at, obviously you can get results with this incredible product. And actually how you can get started is via, I believe you'll do a free Herbalife consultation.
That's right.
Or Herbalife wellness evaluation, if you will, for those that reach out to you. And there's no obligation for that. You're just going to connect with them. You'll share your journey a little bit more.
Yes.
And ask them about their goals. And if it's something you guys want to get started with, perfect. You can reach out to V on the MattRockShow.com under Season 1 episodes after this live episode, and you'll be able to email her directly, and she'll get back to you soon. So you ever had a moment where, like, your brain just, like, shuts off, and then you're going on a roll?
Plenty of times.
Yeah, that's happened like 7 times since we started. This is so fun. Usually, like, I have to be so prepared for this show, and then tonight I was like, you know what, have fun. Just go about it as we will. So this is a lot of fun, and I'm so grateful I get to do this with you, V. So before we head into our solid rock talk in just a few minutes, let's really wrap it up with some tips, with some guidance for, let's really target it out to the young ladies out there. And young ladies, that includes you in the 50s and 60s. You're a thriving young lady, and it's not too late or too early for you to take care of yourself and for you to thrive, for you to be motivated and to go after exactly what you want. We're here and we're gone just like that. So with that being said, V, we didn't prep this beforehand, so let's see what comes out of your heart and your spirit here. What are 1, 2, or 3 tips that you would give the young ladies watching across the world, applicable action steps that they could take starting tonight, starting tomorrow, for them to transform their body, whether you want to lose 1 pound, whether you just want to feel healthier, feel more energized? What's some advice you would give the listeners and viewers?
Let's see. Well, definitely reach out. Reach out to someone. And I am here to obviously empower young women or women of any age to look and feel their best. So what I like to tell people is no matter where you are in your journey, learn to love it. Learn to love the process. Know that there is no end point, because once you set an end point for yourself, then you are rushing through life to try and get to it, right? And the beauty is found in the journey. The beauty is found in the transformation.
You're getting me with this. Keep going.
His heart is pounding right now. He's in love with the talk. And so I just decided to fall in love with where I was. I stopped trying to push myself into a place that I wasn't ready to be yet. And so in falling in love with the journey, I learned to fall in love with who my Lord has created me to be. And people who know me know that I see everything from a kingdom perspective. I have fallen in love with just seeing every aspect of my life through that lens, through the kingdom lens. And so when I realized that I was made and created in God's own image, I know that I am beautiful. I know that I am worth all of the hard work that I'm putting into myself. And so, you know, for anyone that is listening, ladies, fellas, that is the most powerful piece of advice I can give you, is fall in love with Jesus, and you will in turn fall in love with where he has you in your life.
All right, so let me add a little bit to that because we have quite a few listeners and viewers across the world that I know exactly what we're talking about. But if you had taken me back to my preteen years and I was listening to you right now, I'd be like, what the heck? That is intimidating, number one. And let's keep it real. So many people are intimidated. The way you talk, do you see how confident you are?
I
How
do.
amazing you feel? This is real. This is genuine and raw. But so many people are afraid of things that are so incredible. They're
Right.
used to low self-esteem. They're used to not understanding things. They're used to being afraid. So many people in today's age and world are afraid, especially of faith, especially of stepping out, believing in something that they can't see. So
Yes.
let me give each and every single one of you that are listening, and we're not pressing anything on anybody, but let me just give something that I think have helped a lot of people, including myself. If what you're hearing from V is actually something of interest, or it's intriguing, and it's even hitting your spirit and your heart inside, close your eyes and just talk. He's listening.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's the craziest thing, is that faith really requires for you to believe in something that you can't see. And it's the most wonderful thing once you truly give it a shot. It's crazy, but yeah, so when you're saying just fall in love with Jesus, so many people are like, what the heck?
What does
Or
that
no.
mean?
And obviously we're not pressuring anybody to do anything. We just want to share what our lives look like and what
Yes.
we believe in, and what we're so fired up about. I wish. David stopped watching the show. Magician from episode 2. But yeah, it's transformed so many people's lives. Just be open, be willing to look foolish. In any essence of life.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not willing to look foolish, you're foolish. And the most wonderful things happen when you get outside of your comfort zone in any aspect of your life, and especially in faith. So whatever your faith or religion may be, hopefully this is encouraging of some matter. So we have about 28 minutes left in the show. Now, usually we have about a 15 or 20-minute segment of solid rock talk.
Hey.
And we're going to have a 30-minute segment of this because, like I said earlier when we started the show, this is by far probably one of my favorite episodes of the season. We're going 13 episodes deep in Season 1 of The Matt Rock Show. This is Episode 3 because for Solid Rock Talk, we are diving into Wild at Heart. Hold it up,
yeah.
B. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to dive into that book in just a moment. But the reason why I chose this book for a Solid Rock Talk segment of this episode is because it's impacted my life profoundly as a man. Now, if I have spoken to you or you saw me on Facebook post about tonight's episode, let me ask the lady something. Let me ask the fella something. Ladies, now be real with yourself, okay? Because nobody's watching you around, or unless you're with your family, but just be real anyway. Let me ask you a question. When you think about being with a man, okay, do you picture him to just be a nice guy? Like, is that what you want? Oh, he's a nice guy. I am so excited about that. Or do you fantasize about a man being dashing, daring, brave, courageous, strong, passionate, loving, and all these things that really what I believe a man ought to embody because it's within his soul, whether he knows it or not.
That's right.
So what is it? You want a nice guy? Or do you want the man of your dreams? And just keep it real. I'm pretty certain that almost every woman out there really wants something that they feel doesn't exist, and it actually does. It's not just in, what was it, Sleeping Beauty? Was that the one? Where he's fighting the dragon?
Yes. Sleeping
Okay,
Beauty.
so Sleeping Beauty. It's a great movie, and although today you may not find a man fighting off dragons with a cape, armor, and a shield and a sword with lightning going straight into the dragon, but I'll tell you what, that Prince Charming guy does exist, and
Yes.
he exists in the depths of every soul and spirit in every single man, and I believe it is up to the man to dig down deep and discover his roots and to bring him out. Now, fellas, what did I want to say about... Remember I said how your brain just goes quiet?
Uh-huh.
What did I want to say? Fellas, okay, here we go. Have you ever... It's pretty much the same thing. Have you ever just made it a goal in life to say, you know what? I want to be that nice guy. It's the same thing. Or have you ever thought about being adventurous, wild, strong, passionate, daring, courageous? One of my favorite ones. Oh, you must like the courageous guys. And dashing and daring. Men, what do you think about when you fantasize about who you can be? When you watch movies, what movies do you watch? What lights your soul and your spirit on fire? What makes you come alive as a man? It's probably not what is a chick flick?
The Notebook.
Okay, if that makes you come alive, well, actually, okay, funny story.
Matthew comes alive with The Notebook.
Oh man, in New York when I was visiting my dad, I was a teenager in high school, and that movie actually had me shedding some tears. So why'd you have to pick that one? That's actually a really good movie. Their love is so passionate,
It is.
right? But pick another chick flick that probably guys don't get fired up about.
I would say P.S. I Love You. I just watched that over the weekend.
Did you? Chick flick? Guys probably don't get fired up about that. You want to know what guys watch and get fired up about and what they fantasize about? Movies like Braveheart, Gladiator, 300.
Oh, 300.
Who do men, boys and men, want to embody? Do they want to be the nice guy? Do they want to be the guy that follows all the rules? Do they want to be the guy that is just so kind and just so sweet? And no! Men want to be King Leonidas.
Oh, yeah.
On the front lines of the battle. And we're going to dive into actually this book in a second. I'm kind of going a little too far ahead of myself
okay.
here. But men want to be on the front lines of a battle.
Right.
They want to be the hero. And not just the hero, but the hero for a beauty and a purpose to fight for. And they want to be a part of something greater than themselves. They want to be a part of an incredible adventure. This book, Wild at Heart, and I just went on a rant, but let me tell you something. It was this summer that I actually read the book, but let's go months prior. I believe you
I did.
gifted me Wild at Heart. It might have even been for my birthday, which is like September. So
Yes.
I went a long time without reading this. And you had really prepped me in saying this is going to be an incredible book and everything you said. I would have been excited if I would have been more open-minded.
Right. Because
And
I waited and waited and waited for him to crack it open.
Because if you know me, I like doing personal development. I really like self-help books, and
Right.
I like books like this. And honestly, because I knew that it was rooted in the Christian faith. Now I'm a born-again Christian, but
Right.
at the same time, for whatever reason, I was a little, not skeptical, but a little hesitant to jump into it because of that even, and it took me forever, like 9 months to open this. So I finally opened up this book, especially because I was at a point in my life where I realized that I was focusing too much on my relationship, and I was making this woman that I care so much about the actual, like, apple of my eye, the center of my universe, and you can't do that as a man. I mean,
Right.
you could, obviously, I've done it, but that's not healthy as a man. It's not healthy for the woman, and we're going to dive into why soon. But I realized, you know what, I have to take a step back, and I have to focus on really discovering who I am as a man. That's what I'm thinking. And then I remember that V gave me this book, Wild at Heart. I pick up this book, and I'm like, just give it a shot. I read a chapter or two, and I'm like, this is really cool. I want to read more. 2 days later, I go across the neighborhood, and I go to our neighbor's pool, and I don't put this book down. I finish it, I believe, that day. I have never been so on fire about a book and a mission and a purpose in my life. Once I read this book, let me tell you something. This is by John Eldredge, and you can actually go to themattrockshow.com. You can look up the tab Solid Rock Talk for this book and what it's about. And it's discovering the secret of a man's soul. Now, there are 3 things that John has come to discover and find out that God has placed within the soul of every single man.
Right.
All right? The 3 things are, number 1, a battle to fight.
That's right.
And in other words, a mission to fight for, something greater than yourself, to be on the front lines in life for. 2 is a beauty to rescue and to fight for as well. And 3 is an adventure to live.
Yes.
Now, this episode, we're not just talking to the men. This book is geared primarily to men so that you can discover the masculine soul that God has created within every single man from the beginning of time, starting with Adam, right? Because a man's soul was made, and it's not really gender specific, like male, female, but rather the spirit and the soul of man made after God's own image as a man.
That's right.
And of course, there's a sister book to this called Captivating.
Captivating, and that was co-authored by John Eldridge and his wife Stacey Eldridge. So you really get that female perspective in it, and I love that book. Ladies, if you want a book to discover your soul and your longings, that's the one.
When we have a season 2 or 3, you got to come back on the show, and we got to talk about that book, and you got to dive into that with me.
Definitely.
I got to read it first. Oh, man. So anyway, so those 3 things lie deep within the soul of every single man. Now, if you're watching this, listening, if you're a man, you may or may not realize that. You may disagree with me. You may agree. Perfect. Whatever the case may be. But check this out. Once I read this, I didn't know that these 3 things were deeply ingrained with me. I knew one. I always wanted to rescue and save and fight for a beauty in my life. I fantasize about saving the love of my life. You want to hear a funny story?
Tell me a funny story.
Okay. So whether you're confident or not, confident enough or not to go up to a woman and introduce yourself and let her know you're interested, like whether you have that confidence or not.
How you doing?
When you're in your free time. When you're in your free time, or you're in class like I was, falling asleep, it's probably why I discontinued formal education.
Probably.
But yeah. What I would fantasize about, this is funny, but it's very recurring. It'd be like at elementary school, when I was in elementary school, obviously. I'm not like 26 out in elementary school. That's weird. Don't have kids. But either that or just out in the streets, and then I'm with my woman. I'm with this beautiful, amazing woman that I love, and then this guy pulls out a gun. And I'm like, no! Right? And then I jump in front of her, and I take the bullet for her, and I see myself get back up like a beast.
Yes.
And I'm like, you're not gonna take her, you're gonna whatever. And then I take another gunshot. This is what I fantasize about sometimes. I take another gunshot and it hits me, but I keep walking forward, and then I punch the guy and I beat him up, and then I save her and rescue her, and I walk back to her, and I'm like carrying her, and I have gunshot wounds and I'm bleeding to death. But I'm alive, right? This is the funny part. Have you ever been in the restroom? You're handling your business, and because of technology, you're in there too long, and then you realize that once your body's fallen asleep, there's nothing you could do. It's just game over. You can't even move. So here I am
You're
fantasizing.
stuck there.
Here I am fantasizing about taking bullets to the chest for a woman I love, right? Because I have this desire to fight for a beautiful woman to rescue her, and then I can't even move for 5 minutes because my legs have fallen asleep. That's embarrassing, but that's so funny to me. Moving on. Okay, so while we're talking about this book, I'm speaking as a man. You are obviously speaking as a woman. This book is geared towards men, but it's also geared towards women, obviously,
Right.
because as a man and a woman come together, what kind of man does a woman want in her life as her partner, as her
Exactly.
lover? Does she want the nice guy? He's just really nice. He takes care of me. He's sweet, right? I mean, not we all. Whoa, I'm a man. I love women. Okay. All the ladies,
Clarification.
all the ladies want somebody who's sweet, tender. I know that's an aspect of what women want, but if you can actually dive into it, what does a woman want in the core of her spirit and her soul in a man? If you could just go off about that.
Sure. So you'll learn more about this in Captivating if you choose to pick up the book. But what a woman looks for is someone that is going to just completely captivate her heart. And that goes farther, as Matthew was saying, than just being a nice guy, which is great. We love a gentleman. I mean, I am probably the most old-fashioned gal you will ever meet. I still appreciate letters. I love writing letters. I love getting phone calls. I love having, the door held open for me. But it goes so much deeper than that. I want someone whose heart is just willing to be adventurous, and I think that's one of the reasons why I just am so absolutely in love with hiking and fitness, is because I find that my heart just throbs faster with adventure. And I think that all women, whether they realize it or not, are looking for someone that's going to complement that, and lead them on a wonderful adventure. So we want to play a part, an irreplaceable part in your adventure. And I could go on for days talking about that, but that's one of the biggest things that we look for. So it goes beyond being just a nice guy. We want someone that's going to be brave and courageous and adventurous. I'm making myself swoon here.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
And so the greatest thing that you'll learn in Captivating is that your heart matters more than anything else in creation. And but I mean, just like Matthew was saying, if you dive into Wild at Heart, especially as a female, as the female counterpart to a man, you will understand how you can not only support your quote-unquote Adam, but how you can be a crucial component in his life and how you can glorify the Lord together by supporting him to become, that female that God created you to be, made from his rib. So it's just great.
Definitely. And you mentioned earlier, as a woman, you long to be a part. This is very important. You long to be a part of the man's adventure. You do not want to be that adventurer. Here's why. You know all about you. So when he makes it all about you, you're like, I already know that story. This is getting boring. Let's do something captivating.
Right.
So, man, as you were destined to do and to be and to embody, live out your adventure, but as a woman, invite me along into that adventure. And that's where it gets exciting for a man and a woman. The man is living an adventure. He's living courageously, fearlessly. He's doing things that make him come alive. He's tapping into the natural aggression. That is a good thing that is embodied within every single man that actually gets suppressed in today's culture and by a lot of women and by the church and by society. Speaking of aggression, and I'm just going to speak from not random but selective chosen quotes from the book. In the introduction, John Eldredge states that aggression is part of the masculine design. Aggression is a really good thing. Of course, it can be inspired to turn into a very bad thing, let's say, an evil thing, or obviously there's killings across, we're not talking about that.
Right. Well, it's very important to make the distinction between aggression and violence.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So aggression is part of the masculine design. We are hardwired for it. If we believe that man is made in the image of God, which I do believe, then we would do well to remember that, and this is Exodus 15:3. The Lord is a warrior. The Lord is his name. So if we are made in God's image, every man watching, every young boy, whatever age you are a warrior. You have the divine spirit of a warrior within you because you and I are both made in God's own image. And that's
right.
powerful. And I want to encourage you this year to embrace that. And if you don't know how, take the action step that I took. Don't wait 9 months to read it, but go pick up Wild at Heart. What is this? How much is this? It says $21.99. That's an incredible investment to change your life.
I got mine for $1.
Oh, snap. I actually saw one for $5 on a Christian bookstore.
Yeah.
And then let me actually dive into another quote really quick. Life needs a man to be fierce and fiercely devoted. That really lights me on fire. Going back to, what is it, 2017 now? Earlier last year in the summer, a mistake that I made, and man, I want to encourage you not to make this and do just the opposite. But I made the woman that I am with now the complete center of my universe. Number one, that's boring to her, like we already talked about. Number two is you are literally putting everything else around her that should be so much as important or more important or that you should be focusing on. And I was revolving around her, and that my focus was on pleasing her and all this stuff. And you can't do that. You have to be who you are as a man. In life needs a man to be fierce and fiercely devoted. And that has moved me. And in 2017, it has become a part of my mission to be as fierce as I've ever been, to chase down my passions, my dreams, to live out this adventure as a man, to fight for regularly the beauty of my life.
Chase
right?
those lions.
Definitely. And also to be on the front lines of a battle, of a mission, of a purpose that I believe in. And like I said, since reading this book, it has become a part of my life's mission. And this is why I've been so excited and nervous for tonight's episode. I don't know if you could tell, I've actually been nervous throughout it. But I'm so grateful that we're blessed with a platform to empower, encourage, and inspire and motivate all of the men and women out there to understand and discover the soul of a man because of this. And it's become my mission to be a part of that, to embody it first. I don't want you to listen to me if I'm not doing it first. Since reading this book, I've done my absolute best to really step into what it talks about, what it teaches, and it's made a profound impact on me. Right. I've never felt more fierce. I've never felt more confident in my mission and purpose in life. And it's also inspired and moved me to start the Matt Rock Show, to be fierce and to make an impact and to step into the greatness that we have within us And I'm babbling, but let me move on. The wounds he will take throughout his life will cause him to lose heart if all he has been trained to be is soft. Now we look around, it's 2017, and we're not on frontier land. I mean, we're not in Montana or North Dakota. We're in San Bernardino currently, but in Southern California or wherever you are, New York, you don't see mountain men. Now, I'm not saying a man is a mountain man or a man is somebody who drives a macho truck or somebody who has a beard. I don't have a beard, and I'm a man, all right?
Those are nice, though.
Okay, and and the thing is, a man being made after God's own image. Okay, so just so you know, we're not stereotyping or casting whatever the case may be. A man is this physically, a man is that physically, or
Right.
this is what you look like, of course.
Absolutely.
But society, women, and this isn't everybody, but it's the masses, I believe. That society, the church, culture, and women, and our parents and our family, and those influences around us as men and boys, we are trained to be soft. Don't be rowdy. Don't play like that. That's too dangerous. You're going to hurt yourself. Allow a boy to be wild. My buddy, Timmy San Pedro, I love that guy. I got to go meet his kid. He just had a kid. It's so amazing. He inspires me and the boy spirit within me to come out every single day of my life. I remember we'd take walks to the park, his brothers and I, and he would jump and climb into trees, and he'd pretend like he was a sniper for the U.S. Army or Navy or whatever the case may be. He's a Navy SEAL, and he'd jump out of the tree and roll around, and sometimes he'd hurt himself, sometimes he wouldn't, but nonetheless, like, he was doing what boys do, what men were destined to do, to be aggressive, to tap into that aggression that the Lord has placed within us, and to also live fiercely and fearlessly. And the thing is, if we suppress the boys and the men in our life if we train them to be soft, if we suppress the fierceness within them, all right? If we're suppressing how men are supposed to grow and develop heading into manhood, how can we count on them to rely on their very nature that you're suppressing if we needed them in battle, if we needed them to protect us if we ever went to war, God forbid, right? But that's even in the book. And the thing is, I think I've even been suppressed and trained to be soft in certain areas of my life. Don't take those risks. Don't do this. Don't do that. That's stupid. Or you're going to get hurt, whatever the case may be. And I think most of that is foolish guidance, foolish advice, because you're suppressing who a man is. He's wild at heart. And like we said earlier, women don't want just a nice guy. Men, be kind. This is I'm a very kind man, but it's something that I even get better at. But nonetheless, be fierce, and every relationship needs the man to be fierce from time to time.
Right.
Don't just be nice and kind all the time. Like, you got to be fierce. You got to stand for something. You have to ignite that fire within your woman or the woman of your eye. And also, let's head into that adventure to live. So earlier you were speaking of an adventure that you want to embark on and join with a man. Why do you want to join in on that adventure, and why is that so exciting to you as a woman?
It's just really exciting. I mean, there's plenty of ways that I could answer that question, but for me, it's knowing that I am going to be a part of something greater. And so, if you don't understand why the book is titled Wild at Heart, we see in the Bible, again, I see everything from a kingdom perspective, and I like to make sure that the books that I read are biblically sound. So when I picked up Wild at Heart, I went back to the Word, and you can see in the book of Genesis, in the first chapter, you have the account of creation, right? You know, and God created the heavens and earth and all that. And then you jump into Genesis chapter 2, and you read where God created Adam. And Adam was created in the wilderness, right? He wasn't created in the Garden of Eden, just as Eve was. So he was created somewhere else. And then you realize, you know, oh, that's why a man is wild at heart. He's got that fierceness. He's got that courage. And so for me, to be a part of an adventure is something that just resonates so deeply, because I am helping a man fulfill his purpose by glorifying the Lord, because just as Matthew was saying, we are made in God's own image, right? It's said in the Bible. And so if God does not have a body, that must mean that we are made in his own image in another way. And so seeing it in that perspective, we are made in God's own image as our souls, our hearts. And so God made us male and female, which means that the male spirit, the male heart, has different components that will complement the female heart. And so for me to be a part of a man's adventure means that I get to complement him by bringing my beauty, my grace, being the crown of creation, as Captivating calls Eve and the female counterpart to a man. And so for me, it's just so exciting to know that I will be able to embark on a journey with someone that's going to be willing to fight for me, that's going to be courageous, that's going to see me as his beauty to rescue. I mean, it's just amazing.
Definitely. And I'm actually kind of bummed out because I wish we had another hour to dive into this because I have so much within my mind and my heart right now that I want to share about, and I feel like I haven't even gotten into. Sometimes I've been going in circles, and I apologize for that. But this is something we're both so passionate about, and I know we have 5 minutes left, but if we could briefly actually touch on one aspect of the book it actually dives into, and actually said on the site and publicly that this may be a little controversial and we may ruffle some feathers, and I hope we do that. I hope we do that because I needed that to happen for me to pick this up and for me to change my life, especially as a man. But if you, okay, so Christians, right, they understand what Christianity is about. And when you think of church, right? When you go into a church, you may have a great experience, you may not. It really depends. But I think if you were to go into a church and if you were to look around at all the men, I think you'd find one thing in common about most of them. If you walk into most churches here in America or anywhere else, I think you'd find out that most of the men are bored.
They've been watered down.
They really have. And we're hitting a lot of points at once to get it in a minute or two's time, but a lot of wives, partners, girlfriends have actually tried taming their man. They're afraid of the dangerous side of a man.
That's right.
Because they fear something bad will happen. They'll get cheated on. They'll get hurt, abused, because it happens around the world, right? Oh, that's aggression. That's masculinity. That's this, that's that. No, I want a nice guy. Where are all the nice guys at? You don't want a nice guy. Like, you really don't. V, if you could actually, it's probably this guy, not me, but, you know, the shirt I'm rocking.
Captain America.
There we go. I think you're in love with Captain America.
Oh, yeah.
What is it about him that you're in love with him about? And actually, if Captain America was single, he saw you, and he said, I want to be with you. What would you say yes, by the way?
Yes, because I know that he loves God.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
Yeah, you see that in the movie.
And also, what is it about Captain America as a man that just gets you going as a woman?
Oh, man, just seeing the way that he fights those battles. I mean, have you seen him fling around that shield? Seriously, he's adventurous.
Adventure to live.
Right, and he's a gentleman.
Who does he fight for?
All of the women. Haven't you seen him saving everyone?
Especially
women,
Peggy
children,
Carter,
dudes. Oh my gosh.
who he loves.
Whatever. We'll not talk about her.
Wow, we hit all three. He embodies really the aspect of what a man is. And
Yes.
You sometimes can't shut up about Captain America. It's
that's
pretty
right.
funny. But I wanted to rock this shirt just in honor of you and your love and affinity for Captain America. But he's perfect example. You want to be with a Captain America.
Oh, yeah.
So why would you go and say, I just want a nice guy? I want to
Right.
be with somebody that's just going to be nice. He's going to be kind. I know he's not going to be dangerous. I don't have anything to worry about. No. Chase after exactly what you desire in your life. And you guys, just to finish, I wish we had so much more time to talk about this, V. But you guys, check out Wild at Heart. You can go to themattrockshow.com, look under Solid Rock Talk, and you'll see episode 3. We're talking about this book. We actually got to close up now. This went by way too fast. But Vanessa, I want to thank you so much for being on the Matt Rock Show. You guys, if you want to follow her on social media, email her, get started with Herbalife, transform your body, transform your life in 2017, go to themattrockshow.com, look under season 1 episodes, follow me on Instagram at Matthew Rock Motivation. You can also like and share the Matt Rock Show page on Facebook. Go to themattrockshow.com and make sure that you're sharing this video if it moved you in any sense in any way with every man and woman in your life that you know would appreciate it. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Episode 4 with Louis Gutierrez is coming up next week. So excited, you guys. Thank you so much for spending this past hour with us. We're blessed. We're grateful. This has been awesome. We are signing off the Matt Rock Show. Let's
God
go.
bless.
Welcome to the Matt Rock. Look, ain't no time to be down and out. Tune in to the thing to be proud about. When you sacrifice and reach your goal, you can look back, clown, and laugh it out. You know the station that's so amazing. Need inspiration and motivation. When you're in your mind with nowhere to go, well then welcome to the Matt Rock Show. Welcome to the Matt Rock Show. Welcome to the Matt Rock Show.
KCAA Loma Linda. Listen on 1050 AM.